Not too long ago, a commenter named Big B Trainspotter sent me a list of classic UK kids shows for me to make videos on, one of which being Postman Pat. Here's the thing though, while I grew up watching Postman Pat and I do remember enjoying it, there's not really any specific moments I can think of that were especially wild and weird that I can make videos on, aside from that one Christmas special where Santa Claus just kind of shows up. And there's also that one episode of Special Delivery Service where Pat literally has to deliver robots.
Make yourself scarce!
But other than that, there's not really a whole lot to say about the show itself. However, just then, another memory floated back into my head of easily the most bizarre experience I've ever had with Postman Pat. I'm of course talking about the Postman Pat movie. I saw the trailer for this movie in the cinema. I can't remember what I was seeing, but I imagine it was something very babyish, so I do apologise. Well, evidently the trailer to this movie was much more memorable than the movie I watched because, oh god, that trailer.
Get ready
Hurry, old woman!
for an adventure
Something funny going on around here.
for the whole family.
The most important thing for a postman is ruling the world. Well, I was going to say being friendly.
I couldn't believe what I was watching when I first saw it. It felt like a fever dream. I kept telling my friends about the Postman Pat movie and tried explaining, well, what the plot seemed to be to them, and none of them believed me because it was so weird. But it's very real, and I'm here to expose it to all of you today. But before that, if I reach 200 subscribers by the end of the year, I will reveal my face, so please subscribe. And with all that said, allow me to explain to you the plot of the Postman Pat movie. The man himself, Postman Pat, wants to take his hot milf of a wife Sarah on a honeymoon to Italy. I mean, it's not exactly the best time, but I suppose you can plan ahead. However, he's unable to afford the honeymoon because his boss unexpectedly cut his pay. Just saying those words out loud frightens me. Like, brother, are you really gonna try and cut the payment of Postman Pat, one of the hardest working men of our generation? Well, it turns out Postman Pat's boss doesn't like people and is taking action to try and replace everybody with robots. Yes, this man legitimately wants to try and replace everybody with robots. Keep that in mind because we'll get back to it later. And also, the guy looks like this.
Lots of wasted time, space, and energy here, Ben. Not sure even mine.
Anyway, Pat now has to try and figure out what to do since he can't take his wife out on holiday. And she seems way too overhyped about the whole thing despite the fact that the holiday hasn't even been booked yet.
Oh, I'm so excited, Pat. Did you know Italian is one of the romantic languages? I've been looking at hotels.
So you're gonna stop standing about like a pussy all and do something.
So Pat tries to ease his mind a little bit by sitting down with his boy and watching Britain's Got Talent. I know it has a different name in the movie, but it is Britain's Got Talent. Like, what else is it gonna be?
I'm Simon Cowbell.
So while they explain the concept of the show, Pat notices that one of the grand prizes for winning the competition is a free holiday to Italy.
Next week, You're the One auditions are coming to Greendale.
Dad, did you hear that? They're coming here.
Oh, that's nice, Julian.
And remember, contestants, this year the grand prize is a recording contract, a lifetime supply of pot noodles, and an all-expense-paid trip to Italy. Whoop-de-doo.
Whoop-de-doo. What? Hang on, did you say Italy?
That's right, Italy.
How convenient. What are the chances? It's as if the stars were aligning. And Pat, of course, jumps at the opportunity, so he runs out the door and... Wait, I don't think he runs out the door, actually. So he decides he's going to enter the competition. That would make a bit more sense. Now, you might be wondering, what other talent does Postman Pat have other than delivering the post? Well, we don't know, because it hasn't been established yet.
And what will you be singing?
Well, I was wondering, would you mind terribly if I did our wedding song?
Oh, Pat. That's so romantic. Of course I don't mind.
Although, to be fair, it's Postman Pat. That man can do whatever he puts his mind to. Although, to be fair, in the movie, even if Pat was absolute wank, I feel like everyone in the town would have voted for him anyway. Because at the beginning, they established that everyone loves Postman Pat. I get that it's a small town, but in real life, who the hell knows their postman and feels like they have phenomenal chemistry with them? Well, you might know your postman if you know him from outside of being a postman, but who knows their postman just from being the postman? I think the opening is one of the funniest parts of the movie. Like, it's just everyone saying hi to Postman Pat and talking about how much they wish they were a postman.
wish I was a postman.
Like, is being a postman that great? Actually, that could be why this movie was created, to be fair. Like, some company was running low on postmen, so they made this movie as like a propaganda piece. Oh man, Matt, Pat, get on that. I think I'm onto something here.
I just simultaneously whipped a nene!
So Pat enters the competition and absolutely smashes it, because of course he does. Well, I mean, how could he not? The tune he sang was an absolute headbanger. So Pat wins the competition in his hometown and ends up becoming a viral sensation, and the CEO of his company takes note of this.
Yes, they do.
And it's at this point in the movie where we find out that the Postman Pat show is not actually in the same universe as the Postman Pat movie. Yeah, I know, shocker. It turns out the Postman Pat show is actually a show within the universe of the Postman Pat movie. Yeah, get your head around that. And remember the boss man before who cut Pat's pay?
Yes, they do.
After seeing how the entire nation was pretty much swept away by Postman Pat's phenomenal performance, the Blobfish Man decides to base the design of his robots on Postman Pat. Hey, I'd appreciate the gesture. So the real Postman Pat meets this new robot Postman Pat in a bit of an awkward way. The Blobfish just kind of introduces Pat to him as he's leaving for the, I don't know, the semi-finals of the show or something. But I'm telling you, the conversation with Pat and the robot, man, it's comedy gold. I'm surprised this wasn't nominated for an Oscar.
This is the start of a bold new era for the special delivery service.
Mans but horrendous feck postman or career. Ya better not try and squash my squash'em or else I'ma squash ya harder than I did tell ya mum last night, ya her may Mr. Paddington.
That machine's dialogue is absolutely riveting.
Eyo, what's up Nincon Popes, I am Postman Pat. My name is Postman Pat and Postman Pat has had to deliver da post.
You feeling alright there, mucker?
Yo, what's up, I'm Postman Pat and this last series just Dakard.
He kinda sounds like Teddy in a way. The other guys just don't have voices yet. And yeah, I can't really remember what happens in the rest of the movie, but basically, well, there's another scene where the Glob Go Gab Galab, he just kind of fires everyone else working for his business and replaces them all with the Postman Pat robots. And they all just start trying to take over the world because that's how mafia works.
Robots, report for duty. We're taking over this operation. At last, no more inefficient humans cluttering up my mailroom. Now that everyone loves Postman Pat, they'll turn a blind eye as I replace every delivery man in the special delivery service with my glorious money-making machines. Profits will skyrocket. The board of directors will retire that weak-kneed Brown and promote me to CEO. And I won't stop there. We'll diversify into other businesses. We'll make automated bank tellers, robotic technical support, even computer-animated movies. Fly, my pretties, fly, fly! Today, England, tomorrow, the world!
The f*** is happening? What is...
And considering when there was only one Postman Pat robot, despite the fact that everyone seems to love Postman Pat and have such a defined relationship with him, no one thought, hey, you know what, something's a bit wrong with Postman Pat, maybe it's not, maybe there's something going on here, maybe there's something we should look into a bit more. Can you hear me? I'm a bit far away from the camera. But yeah, nobody thinks, hey, maybe Postman Pat's been replaced with a robot. Actually, I guess saying it out loud, why would you ever think that? But yeah, after realising that there's a misunderstanding, all the town of Greendale, they just go to London or fucking New York or Area 51 or wherever the talent show is being held, and they just kind of show his support. And of course, because this is an early 2010s kids show, it ends with a dance party.
We buy any car. We buy any car. Any. We buy any car. Any make, any model, any age, any price from 50 quid to 100 grand. We buy any car. We buy any car.
Oh no, one of my friends have just died.
And that was the Postman Pat movie. Or at least it kind of was. I kind of missed out quite a bit in the middle, but hey, I did that with Magnus Pike, and that's one of my most viewed videos somehow. So what did we learn from this movie? We learned that if you're an incel who hates people and hates talking to them and thinks machines would be a lot better, go watch Robots, because it's a much better movie. Anyway, I guess I'm ending this video a bit abruptly because I don't really know where to go with it now. If you enjoyed this video, follow my Twitter and also my Instagram, and also join my Discord server because I'm very lonely and I want people to talk to. Anyway, I've been Monobrown Man. These guys have the profile picture on the YouTube channel, even though I should probably change it at some point. And I will say, special delivery service, mission accomplished.
I am Dr. Noah-Body, arch enemy of Spider-Man. He defeated me once, just as he did each of you. But where we failed individually, we shall succeed together in destroying Spider-Man.
Boy!